Have you ever wondered what if the legends of Atlantis weren't just myths? What if beneath the waves of the Atlantic Ocean lies not only stone ruins, but the remnants of a technology far beyond our own? A knowledge so powerful, it could control energy, matter, and maybe even time itself? Let's dive into the secret technologies of ancient Atlantis, and uncover the truth behind the greatest mystery of human history. Chapter 1. The Lost Civilization Revealed Atlantis. A single word that has captivated explorers, scholars, mystics and scientists for millennia. Was it real, or just a poetic allegory? The story begins with one man, the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. In his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BCE, he described Atlantis as a powerful and advanced kingdom, located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now know as the Strait of Gibraltar. According to Plato, Atlantis was an empire of extraordinary wealth and wisdom. Its people lived in harmony with nature and technology, blending spiritual knowledge with scientific mastery. Their temples were built from orichalcum, a mysterious metal said to glow like fire. Their canals were wider than rivers, their agriculture flourished without famine, and their society thrived under laws of balance and enlightenment. But then, something changed. Plato wrote that the Atlanteans became greedy. They turned away from the gods. And in a single day and night of misfortune, more than 9,000 years before his time, Atlantis sank into the ocean, never to be seen again. World map: did Atlantis really exist? For centuries, scholars dismissed Atlantis as fiction, a metaphor for human arrogance and divine justice. But others weren't so sure. In the 19th century, American politician and writer Ignatius Donnelly reignited interest in Atlantis with his book, Atlantis: The Antediluvian World. He argued that Atlantis was the origin of all known ancient civilizations, from Egypt to the Maya. Even Nikola Tesla, the genius inventor, reportedly believed in Atlantis. Some say he claimed to have discovered ancient blueprints in his research, designs powered by energy systems eerily similar to those attributed to the lost civilization. And what about Edgar Cayce, the famous American mystic known as the Sleeping Prophet? He gave over 70 readings about Atlantis, describing not only its location but also its downfall, and how some survivors fled to Egypt, Central America, and even modern-day North America. He spoke of underground cities beneath the Yucatan, of crystal-powered machines, and of a race that had awakened cosmic consciousness, before losing it all. Compass: where was Atlantis located? No one knows for sure. But theories abound. The mid-Atlantic ridge: could the island have been part of a volcanic chain? Santorini, Thera: some believe the eruption of this island inspired the legend. Spain, Morocco coast: satellite imagery has revealed submerged structures off the coast. Antarctica: a controversial theory claims Atlantis lies frozen beneath the ice. Outer space: yes, some even suggest Atlantis was not earthbound at all. Each clue brings us closer, or deeper into mystery. Scroll: why does this matter? Because if Atlantis was real, and possessed technologies far beyond our own, then we are not the pinnacle of human evolution. We may be standing on the shoulders of giants whose names were erased by time. And perhaps, we're on the verge of rediscovering what they once knew. So the question isn't whether Atlantis existed. It's, what happened to its secrets? And who might still be guarding them today? Crystal Ball Chapter 2. The Atlantean Power Crystal, a source of infinite energy. Imagine a crystal, humming with light, suspended in the heart of a grand temple. According to ancient texts and modern esoteric theories, the Atlanteans harnessed zero-point energy through massive quartz crystals, acting as conduits for limitless power. These weren't just decorative stones or spiritual symbols. They were living machines, devices capable of drawing energy from the very fabric of space-time itself. This was not magic. This was science, far beyond anything we've developed today. The Atlanteans may have discovered how to tap into what modern physicists call scalar energy, or orgone, a universal life force that flows through all things. And they did it using something nature had already given them: crystal. Quartz, in particular, has unique piezoelectric properties. When pressure is applied, it generates an electric charge. When exposed to sound frequencies, it vibrates at precise resonances. Now imagine this on a scale unimaginable. Entire cities powered by crystal towers, glowing under the sun, pulsing like the heartbeat of the earth. Some say the Great Pyramid of Giza was built using similar principles, a remnant of Atlantean knowledge passed down through generations. But Atlantis didn't just use crystals for light and power. They used them to heal, to communicate, to connect. Glowing star, the heart of the temple at the center of every major Atlantean city, stood a sacred temple, not just a place of worship, but a technological marvel. Inside, the most powerful crystal of all, often referred to as the heart of Atlantis, pulsed with energy. It was said to be alive, aware, even conscious. This central crystal acted as a hub, connected to smaller ones placed throughout the city. These acted like nodes in a network, distributing energy wirelessly, much like Wi-Fi, but for electricity. There were no wires, no smoke, no pollution, just pure, clean energy flowing through the air like water through invisible channels. Some researchers believe this system worked through resonance, tuning the crystals to specific frequencies that allowed them to transmit energy across vast distances. Could this be the real secret behind Nikola Tesla's dream of wireless power transmission? And if so, did he rediscover something humanity had forgotten? High voltage, how did they generate power? So how exactly did these crystals work? Modern physics tells us that quartz can store and release energy. In the hands of the Atlanteans, this simple principle may have been taken to cosmic levels. Here's one theory. The main crystal, placed inside a dome or pyramid, would be charged by solar energy during the day. Resonance chambers, underground chambers filled with smaller crystals, amplified and distributed the energy. Atlantean engineers, or priest scientists, adjusted frequencies using sound, voice, and intention, controlling where the energy flowed. It's believed that these crystals could also be programmed, much like a computer chip today. Some even claim they stored knowledge, memories, histories, maybe even consciousness. Was this the origin of the legendary Hall of Records? Or perhaps the source of psychic abilities attributed to the Atlanteans? Crystal ball crystals in ancient cultures. Interestingly, many ancient cultures speak of sacred stones with incredible powers. In Egypt, the Benben stone was said to hold divine energy. In India, the Shiva lingam is still revered as a symbol of cosmic energy. In South America, the emerald tablets of Thoth describe a time when humans could channel energy through crystals. Even the Bible mentions something strange. And the city was pure gold, like clear glass. And the foundations were garnished with all manner of precious stones. Revelation chapter 21 verses 18 to 19. Could this be a description of an Atlantean-style city, powered by crystal technology? Test tube. Modern science meets ancient wisdom today. Scientists are beginning to understand what the ancients may have known for millennia. Piezoelectricity is now used in watches, radios, and even microphones. Quantum entanglement allows information to travel instantly across space. Scalar waves, though controversial, are being studied for their potential to carry energy without loss. And some researchers believe that crystal-based computers might be the next big leap in artificial intelligence. If we're only now discovering what the Atlanteans may have mastered thousands of years ago, then what else have we forgotten? What other technologies lie buried beneath the ocean, waiting to be found? Globe Chapter 3. Weather manipulation and terraforming. Imagine a world where the seasons never failed. Where droughts were unknown, and storms obeyed your will. Where you could summon rain with sound, or protect your city from hurricanes using invisible shields of energy. This may sound like fantasy. But what if this was reality, for the people of Atlantis? According to ancient myths and modern theories, the Atlanteans didn't just live in harmony with nature, they commanded it. They may have mastered a form of geoengineering so advanced that it bordered on the divine, controlling climate, weather patterns, even the movement of tectonic plates. Some say they built floating cities above the clouds, protected by electromagnetic domes. Others believe they created artificial oases in deserts, transforming barren lands into lush paradises. If true, then Atlantis wasn't just an empire of wisdom and technology, it was a civilization that had learned to shape the earth itself. Cloud with lightning and rain the power over storms. What if the Atlanteans could stop hurricanes before they formed? Modern science is only beginning to explore the idea of weather control, using cloud seeding, ionospheric heaters, and atmospheric lasers to influence rainfall and reduce storm intensity. But what if the Atlanteans had already cracked this mystery thousands of years ago? Ancient texts speak of sound chambers, massive underground structures designed to amplify vibrations. Some researchers believe these were used to generate sonic frequencies that could disrupt storm systems before they reached land. Sound has power. It can shatter glass, move water, even affect human consciousness. Could it also bend the wind? Legends say that the Atlanteans used crystal towers to emit harmonic tones across the sky, not just for communication, but to stabilize the atmosphere and prevent natural disasters. And some even claim that the Bermuda Triangle, that mysterious region of the Atlantic Ocean known for unexplained disappearances, is still influenced by leftover Atlantean weather technology, distorting compasses and disrupting electronics. Sun behind rain cloud. The secret of eternal spring. One of the most fascinating aspects of Atlantis was its reported climate, a land of eternal spring, where crops grew year-round, and the air was always warm and clean. How could such a place exist without seasonal change? Without harsh winters or scorching summers? Some theorists believe the Atlanteans developed climate domes, protective energy fields that regulated temperature, humidity, and air quality over entire cities. These weren't made of plastic or steel. They were powered by crystals and magnetic fields, creating microclimates in the middle of hostile environments. Could this explain why so many ancient civilizations described paradise-like gardens, Eden, El Dorado, Shambhala, as places untouched by time or decay? Perhaps these were not myths. Perhaps they were memories of what life was like under Atlantean rule. Rock terraforming through sound and energy. The word terraforming usually refers to changing the environment of another planet, like making Mars habitable. But what if the Atlanteans practiced terrestrial terraforming right here on Earth? There are stories of them turning deserts into fertile land, raising islands from the sea, and even draining lakes overnight. Some ancient temples and ruins show carvings of machines emitting waves of energy, possibly devices used to reshape the landscape through vibration and resonance. Could they have used scalar wave technology to melt rock, shift mountains, or redirect rivers? In South America, the precision-cut stones of Sacsayhuaman suggest tools far beyond chisels and hammers. In Egypt, the Great Pyramid aligns perfectly with celestial bodies, possibly acting as a giant antenna or energy amplifier. All signs point to a civilization that understood the language of matter, and spoke it fluently. DNA. The legacy in ancient rituals. Interestingly, echoes of this knowledge survive today, not in laboratories, but in rituals. Hawaiian huna, Native American rain dances, Tibetan singing bowls, all use sound and intention to influence nature. Even in modern times, there are reports of monks chanting in perfect frequency causing vibrations in stone walls. Could this be a remnant of something greater? A forgotten echo of Atlantean science? Some believe that certain bloodlines or secret societies preserved fragments of this knowledge. That they passed down the art of earth healing, of balancing ley lines, of working with sacred geometry to restore harmony to the planet. If true, then maybe Atlantis never truly vanished. Maybe it just went underground, waiting for humanity to remember. Brain Chapter 4. Telepathic communication and mind networks. Forget smartphones. Forget Wi-Fi. The Atlanteans are believed to have communicated using telepathy, a direct transmission of thoughts from one mind to another, without the need for sound or symbols. Imagine a world where communication was instant, pure, without distortion, misunderstanding or delay. A world where you could speak across oceans, not through wires, but through thought. This wasn't science fiction. For the people of Atlantis, this may have been everyday life. Thought balloon. The science of thought transmission. How did it work? Some researchers believe that the Atlanteans used special headgear, helmets, or even crystals that acted as neural interfaces, amplifying brain frequencies and allowing them to transmit and receive thoughts like radio waves. These devices may have worked by enhancing natural bioelectric and biophotonic activity in the brain, processes modern science is only beginning to understand. Every human brain emits electromagnetic fields. Some studies suggest that neurons communicate not just chemically, but also through light particles, biophotons. What if the Atlanteans found a way to harness and amplify these signals? To project them beyond the body? Could they have created the first, and most advanced, form of neural network? Not made of silicon, but of consciousness itself. Link. A civilization connected by thought. In Atlantis, telepathy may not have been limited to individuals. It may have extended to entire cities, forming a kind of collective intelligence, a shared field of awareness. Imagine a society where deception was impossible, because everyone could feel your true intentions. Where cooperation was effortless, because every citizen was tuned into the same frequency. Some ancient texts describe such a state as one mind, unity consciousness, or the Akashic field, a cosmic library of all knowledge, accessible by those who knew how to listen. If the Atlanteans truly lived this way, then their civilization wasn't just technologically advanced. It was spiritually evolved. They didn't just think with their brains. They felt with their hearts. And they connected with something greater than themselves. Cyclone crystals as amplifiers of consciousness. Central to this system may have been, once again, crystals. Not just as energy sources, but as tools for expanding perception. Quartz crystals are known to store and transmit information. In modern times, we use them in computers, radios and watches. But what if the Atlanteans discovered something deeper? That crystals could also act as amplifiers of consciousness. By wearing crystal headbands, meditating with quartz wands, or sitting within vast crystal arrays, they may have synchronized their minds, creating a kind of mental internet, a web of shared thought. Some believe this is why many ancient cultures revered the third eye, the idea that humans once had the ability to see beyond the physical, into the realm of pure thought and intention. And perhaps, that ability hasn't vanished entirely. Maybe it's simply dormant, waiting to be awakened. Satellite dish echoes in history and myth. Interestingly, stories of telepathic civilizations appear throughout history. In Hindu tradition, the Vedas speak of sages who could communicate across great distances. In Buddhist lore, enlightened beings called bodhisattvas were said to perceive the thoughts of others. In Native American teachings, shamans spoke of dreamwalkers who could meet in the spirit world while still alive. Even in modern times, there are accounts of twins sharing thoughts, psychics reading minds, and remote viewers describing distant locations without ever being there. Could these be faint echoes of an ancient Atlantean gift? Fragments of a lost technology, not of machines, but of the mind? Globe. What if we could reconnect? Today, scientists are exploring the possibility of brain-to-brain interfaces, using EEG and AI to send simple messages from one person's brain to another. It's primitive compared to what the Atlanteans might have achieved. But what if we're on the verge of rediscovering it? What if the next evolution of humanity isn't about faster computers or smarter robots, but about reconnecting with our own inner potential? Maybe the fall of Atlantis wasn't caused by war or disaster. Maybe it came when they forgot how to listen, when they stopped hearing each other, and the universe itself. Drop of Blood Chapter 5. Advanced Healing and DNA Manipulation. Forget scalpels. Forget drugs. The Atlanteans may have healed wounds in minutes, not through surgery or medicine, but by using sound, light, and crystal therapy to restore the body at a cellular level. Imagine a world where illness was rare, where aging was slowed, maybe even reversed, where physical trauma could be undone with a single touch, a tone, or a beam of energy. This is the world some believe Atlantis created. And while it sounds like science fiction, modern science is beginning to catch up, revealing that the human body may be far more programmable than we ever imagined. Microscope. The healing temple at the heart of every major Atlantean city stood a sacred space, not for worship, but for healing. These temples were filled with glowing crystals, resonant chambers, and pools of energized water. Patients entered with broken bones, disease, or even mortal wounds, and left completely restored. How? Some researchers believe the Atlanteans used frequency-based medicine, a system where sound waves, electromagnetic fields, and structured light were used to recalibrate the body's natural rhythms. They didn't just treat symptoms. They addressed the root cause, imbalance in the body's energy field. In this way, their healers weren't doctors as we know them today. They were scientists of life itself. Musical note. Sound that heals. Sound has power. We've known this for millennia. Monks chant to reach enlightenment. Shamans drum to enter trance. Even hospitals today use ultrasound to break down kidney stones. But what if the Atlanteans took this further? What if they discovered how to use specific frequencies to stimulate cell regeneration, reduce inflammation, and even repair damaged organs? Modern studies suggest that 40 Hz, 528 Hz, and other frequencies can affect DNA structure and promote healing. Could these tones have been part of an ancient Atlantean healing code, passed down through generations? Some say yes, and some believe that ancient instruments, like Tibetan singing bowls, Egyptian sistra, and even the didgeridoo, are remnants of this lost knowledge. Light bulb. Light that reconnects. Light is not just illumination, it carries information. Every cell in your body emits biophotons, tiny particles of light that may play a role in communication between cells. Could the Atlanteans have harnessed this inner glow? Some theories suggest they used crystal prisms, mirrors, and lenses to direct beams of light into the body, stimulating cellular repair, activating dormant genes, and restoring balance to the nervous system. Imagine sitting inside a chamber of mirrors, surrounded by glowing quartz, as pulses of golden light wash over you, resetting your body like a rebooted computer. This may sound futuristic, but in many ways, it echoes ancient practices still found around the world. DNA unlocking. The DNA code. Perhaps the most astonishing theory about Atlantis is this. They understood DNA, not just as a biological blueprint, but as a living library of consciousness, memory, and potential. Today, we know that only about 2% of our DNA codes for proteins. The rest, once called junk DNA, is now believed to be involved in regulation, evolution, and possibly even higher states of awareness. Could the Atlanteans have activated the remaining 98%? Some believe they did, using sound, intention, and crystal technology to awaken latent abilities, telepathy, heightened senses, even extended lifespans. If true, then the Atlanteans weren't just advanced technologically. They were evolving, consciously shaping their own biology. Hourglass living for hundreds of years? Ancient texts from Sumer, Egypt, India, and China all speak of humans who lived for hundreds, sometimes thousands, of years. Was this metaphorical, or was it real? If the Atlanteans had access to DNA-level healing, anti-aging therapies, and biofield manipulation, then extreme longevity may not have been impossible. Some even speculate that they developed cellular regeneration techniques, slowing or halting the aging process entirely. Did they discover something akin to telomere extension long before modern science named it? Or perhaps they unlocked the secrets of stem cell activation, allowing the body to constantly renew itself. Whatever the truth, one thing is clear. They knew how to heal, and how to live. Seedling echoes of their knowledge today. Even now, fragments of Atlantean healing wisdom appear to survive. Crystal healing remains popular across many cultures. Sound baths and frequency therapy are gaining mainstream acceptance. DNA activation workshops claim to help people unlock hidden potential. Ancient Ayurveda and Chinese medicine speak of subtle energies, much like those described in Atlantean lore. Could these be distant memories, whispers from a time when humanity mastered the art of self-healing? Maybe the fall of Atlantis wasn't just a loss of cities and lives. Maybe it was a forgetting of how to heal ourselves. Chapter 6. Time Travel and Interdimensional Gateways. Here's where it gets truly mind-blowing. Some theorists claim that the Atlanteans didn't just master energy, weather or healing. They may have unlocked something far more profound, time travel. And not in the science fiction sense, but through real, physical gateways. Portals powered by crystals, sound, and electromagnetic fields. A way to step beyond the present, into other times, other dimensions. Could Atlantis have existed outside of time? Could we walk through a door and step into the past? Some say we already have. Hourglass, the key to time itself. What if time isn't linear? Modern physics suggests that space and time are woven together like a fabric, and that under the right conditions, this fabric can be bent, folded, even pierced. The Atlanteans may have discovered how to do exactly that. According to some ancient texts and modern esoteric theories, they built massive time chambers, rooms lined with quartz crystals, tuned to specific frequencies that could alter perception, slow biological clocks, or even allow people to move between timelines. These weren't machines in the traditional sense. They were resonance systems, using sound, light and intention to manipulate the flow of time itself. Imagine walking into a chamber filled with glowing crystal pillars. As you stand in the center, the air vibrates around you. Your heartbeat slows, your breath deepens, and suddenly, you're somewhere else. Not just somewhere else on Earth, but somewhere else in time. Globe portals to other worlds. Atlantis may not only have mastered time, but also interdimensional travel. Some believe they created gateways, stable portals that led to parallel realities, higher dimensions, or even other planets. Sound crazy? Consider this. In many ancient cultures, gods and angels are described as beings who came from the other side, appearing and disappearing in flashes of light. Some UFO sightings describe craft that seem to materialize out of thin air, or vanish without a trace. Even modern quantum theory speaks of wormholes, multiverses, and non-local consciousness. What if the Atlanteans had found a way to open such doors? Some researchers believe the Bermuda Triangle is one such doorway, a place where magnetic anomalies, strange disappearances, and reports of time distortions suggest an ancient Atlantean portal still active today. Could this explain why pilots report seeing ancient cities beneath the waves? Or why compasses spin wildly in that region? Perhaps it's not just myth. Perhaps it's a window, still open. Crystal Ball. The crystal grid network at the heart of these technologies may have been, once again, crystals. Not just for power, but for navigation across dimensions. Quartz has the unique ability to store and transmit information. If the Atlanteans amplified this property using sound, magnetism, and intention, they might have used crystals as keys to different realities. Some believe that a network of these crystals was placed across the globe, forming what's now known as the Earth Grid or ley lines. From Egypt to Peru, from Tibet to France, sacred sites align in ways that defy coincidence. Could these be remnants of a global Atlantean teleportation system? A map to other worlds? Eye and speech bubble, who is watching us? If the Atlanteans really did break free from time and space, what happened to them? Did they perish in their own experiments? Or did they simply leave? Some believe that certain bloodlines, secret societies, or even extraterrestrial visitors are actually descendants of the Atlanteans, watching humanity evolve, waiting for us to remember. Others say that some Atlanteans never left at all. They exist in a parallel dimension, just beyond our perception. Have you ever felt like someone was watching you? That maybe you're being observed by those who never truly vanished. DNA, are we close to reopening the door? Today, scientists are exploring quantum entanglement, wormholes, and multidimensional physics. We're building particle accelerators, studying dark matter, and probing the edges of reality. Could we be rediscovering what the Atlanteans already knew? Maybe the fall of Atlantis wasn't caused by war or disaster. Maybe they didn't fall at all. Maybe they simply stepped through the gate and left us behind. Now, thousands of years later, are we finally ready to follow? Prayer Beads Chapter 7. The Legacy of Atlantis. So what happened to Atlantis? Was it destroyed by war? By misuse of power? Or did they simply ascend, leaving behind only whispers and ruins? One thing is certain: the pieces are scattered. From Egypt to South America, from India to Antarctica, clues remain, waiting to be uncovered. And maybe, just maybe, some of their secrets are still alive today. Magnifying glass scattered clues across the world. The story of Atlantis may have begun beneath the waves, but its legacy can be found all over the world. In the pyramids of Giza, where chambers align with stars that weren't in those positions for thousands of years. In the Nazca lines, massive geoglyphs visible only from the air, drawn by a people who seemingly never flew. In the megalithic stones of Baalbek, Lebanon, weighing hundreds of tons, moved and placed with technology we still can't explain. Could these be remnants of Atlantean knowledge passed down through generations? Or echoes of a civilization that seeded humanity with science, spirituality, and structure? Some believe that after Atlantis fell, or left, its survivors spread across the globe, becoming the founders of ancient cultures. They became priests, kings, builders, astronomers, keepers of forbidden knowledge. And they left behind monuments, myths, and memories, as warnings or invitations. DNA echoes in our DNA. There's something else. Something deeper than stone or myth. What if we carry Atlantis within us? Not just in our history, but in our biology. Ancient texts speak of star beings, gods who walked among men, and those who came from the sea. Could these be descriptions of Atlanteans, not aliens, but humans with advanced abilities? Could fragments of their genetic code still exist in us today? Modern science tells us that human DNA contains dormant sequences, parts of our genome we don't yet understand. Some call them junk DNA. Others believe they're an unfinished program. Could this be the blueprint of something greater, left behind by those who once knew how to activate it? Maybe Atlantis didn't die out. Maybe it's sleeping inside every one of us. Cyclone, are we ready to remember? Atlantis may have been more than a place. It may have been a state of being, a level of consciousness humanity is only now beginning to approach. We are rediscovering zero-point energy. We are decoding DNA. We are exploring consciousness, quantum physics, and even time itself. Are we on the verge of repeating the journey of the Atlanteans? Or perhaps, finishing what they started? If so, then the question isn't whether Atlantis existed. The question is, will we become its heirs, or repeat its mistakes? So next time you hear the word Atlantis, don't dismiss it as legend. Think of it as a warning, a blueprint, and perhaps, a prophecy. What if Atlantis isn't lost? What if it's just waiting to rise again? Are you ready to find out?